Wake up. Ebro in the morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
You shouldn't be saying that on the air.
Well, the times have changed, Laura Stiles and Rosenberg, because now your involvement as a parent in your child's education is essential and can improve the outcome of your child's education and, also assisting in the community building and the teachers at the school.
Blah, blah, blah. Sounds like these teachers are lazy out here.
No.
Whoa.
No, I did not say that.
Sounds
And
like-
teachers are not lazy. I love the
Sounds
teachers.
like they want the parents to do all the work. This is not right.
No, see,
I'm just kidding.
The only
what
thing
I
that
actually
annoys
think it
me
is
the
Go ahead,
apps.
Laura.
The apps annoy me. They annoy me. And shout out to everyone who has multiple kids in different schools, and you gotta
man.
deal with
Laura,
multiple. Like I just got a
the apps.
message, like they're not celebrating Halloween. They're doing like Character Day. So I'm like, what? I gotta go get a new costume now?
Wait, so hold on.
Character Day?
And so, this is how the conversation started, is that Laura's saying she gets mad messages on the app of things she's supposed to do for Ken's school. And I've been hearing this from a lot of parents, like, every day they're telling me something I got to do. Can I just send my kid to school, please? I wonder, Laura, two things. Does that mean you have to get a new costume, or does that just mean they're changing the name? They don't want to say Halloween.
I gotta read the whole thing, but it sounds like dress
She's a
up as
character.
a certain character. I'm like, yeah, well, Wednesday's a character.
Listen,
That's it.
you do
why not?
On Halloween, as much as it's fun and all of that, we got to keep in mind that there are people with different spiritual beliefs that are like, listen, fam, I'm not celebrating your little devil day. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And I don't
not
want my
a
kid
devil
wrapped up in your little Dia de los Muertos.
Then keep your kid home, bro. Laura, are you sure they're saying
Make it politically correct.
It's a
Wednesday?
character-
Wednesday
How about
is
make it inclusive of other people? Just
No,
because
stop.
Character
Stop.
Day is that big of
Stop.
a deal for y'all?
Nah, stop.
You got
That's not what
y'all
Halloween-
sound y'all.
But Halloween is inclusive. You could dress up
Listen,
as whatever you want.
You guys sound just like
There we go.
the MAGAs.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
If you
This
reverse
is how the
it,
MAGAs feel.
Revert. Go ahead. I feel that way
Changing
about other
names.
things.
Oh, what happened to Christmas? We're bringing.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with. By the way,
the Cracker Barrel.
I'm lined up with the MAGAs on Christmas. They should not. I don't need to say holiday. I don't need Hanukkah to be included. You could call it Christmas. I'm fine.
But
You know why they picked the Halloween battle?
You have to celebrate it.
No,
It's
you know
fun.
why they picked the Halloween battle? Because all the kids show up to school in costumes. Right? On Christmas, guess what? Nobody's at the school. They're not in. It's a holiday. They're not there.
Well, sure, I hear you, but there's still
So
the
this
same
is
argument.
a day that's not an actual day that kids can stay home. And by the way, it lands on a Friday this year. So they sent an email to the parents and said, what we're doing is Character Day, since we know the kids are going to dress up to school.
All right, well, listen, if that solves the problem of calling it Character Day, I mean, to me,
I'm still rolling
then as the
mine.
parent, you're sort of playing games because you're like, oh, now we'll dress you up in the pagan costumes because they changed the name from Halloween to Character Day. We've tricked God. Now, if you think you've successfully tricked God, go dress up as Little Orphan Annie. But my point is, who gives a damn in the first place? But you're right. If that works for them, God bless. I just think it's a way. Let's just save the battles for the ones that matter. We want to support our students here who are offended by things that are like worth offense, in my opinion. This isn't one to me that is a hill we're dying on.
Well, but
God
why?
bless.
How are you the decider of what's worth
Damn it.
offense?
Because I'm the
Damn it.
person who's speaking right now, and you can say what you feel. I just think it's dumb. And we as progressives who have a lot of issues we really care about and want people to pay attention to get mislabeled as caring about dumb-ish because we focus on dumb-ish. Halloween is dumb-ish. That's not worth the time.
But you would have to keep that same energy with everything.
Go ahead. What do you mean?
And that's where the problem falls. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
of not allowing people to,
Lack of
it's an evolution they're trying to do to make it politically correct and safe for everyone.
But my
So-
thing is, like, you can dress up as whatever
If-
you want,
No.
or not dress up at all.
Right, but if
All
you
your
have-
choice.
Okay, so listen,
Choice.
that's your choice. These people are saying, I pay taxes, I go to this school, and this is what I want at the school where I pay taxes or I pay tuition, whatever it is.
For sure. And
That's
we
what's
live,
happening.
And I understand that.
So then what ultimately it becomes is it's character day because they went to the PTA meetings and got it done. And that's why it's character day. Laura, did you go to the meeting where they decided character day?
No, it's already decided.
There was no meeting.
That's just what they do. Yeah.
Oh, this is the school you chose, and this is what they've already been doing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Listen,
it's character.
It's fine. I could still be annoyed by it. Like it's happening. It's not going to change, and I'm still rolling my eyes, and I still think it's dumb. But whatever.
Real quick question: Does it matter what you dressed up as on Character Day, or are we just talking about them naming it Character Day?
Yes, it's limited. You can only dress up as certain characters. You can't go spooky. You can't go like. Have to be certain things.
You see?
Everybody's not into the skeletons and witches.
I guess for me, what it is, and maybe this is classic, just like, the way I grew up is blah, blah, blah. But I grew up as a Jew in America. Everything was based around Christian stuff. At no point did my parents go, I'm not comfortable. I'm a taxpayer. They should include the Jewish one. Nope, you decided to live in America. Mad Christians here, buddy. Go to school, do the stuff they do. You come home and do our thing. It is what it is.
And that's how the MAGAs feel. They want to make America just like that again.
Well, but now you're throwing a huge blanket on it. There are certain situations where I'd say it's unfair. Halloween, I'd say is.
But to Shani's point, now you're picking and choosing. You know what I mean? Once you start,
I like picking and choosing. I like a la carte.
I'm picking and choosing. Listen, it's just
I'm picking the spots I care.
Well, let's get to the lines. Let's go to let's see here, Diana on line 1.
I gotta say, as I have 2 kids in the public school system in New York City, and last year I planned the entire Halloween party, which is what the kids look forward to. I had to make sure there was nothing anywhere that says Halloween because it's offensive for people and they don't celebrate it. And it's kind of sad because it was an event for the kids and they look forward to it, right? Like, it's something for them. And then you have your parents complaining. No, we don't do this. It says Halloween. We don't do this and we don't do that. So this year they called it the Fall Festival.
The Fall Festival.
And who knows if they're going to be kids dressed up or not, but that's what they ended up doing this year. I said, I'm out of it. I am out of this.
But wait, so there's no, you don't, what are the rules though? Can the kids dress up if they want to? Is it a choice?
So apparently this year they said the kids can dress up if they want to. There's going to be some candy giving away, but it's all just going to be a festival event, a fall event. I don't know. That was just my opinion. So
no, it is.
Thank
and
you.
Guess what? There's the other side of it where things change. And I thought that's what progressives were all about.
Yeah, but we're not. I'm not a paint by numbers. Whatever all progressives we should do. Because listen, at what point does it get absurd? If you have like a substantial amount of people who feel that way in one community, okay, cool. Everyone in a community could have a different belief in doing something, and then you can apply nothing to said school. At some point, you do have to say, hey, we do certain things here because the largest number of people choose to do it. And if you choose not to do it, we welcome you also. You just don't have to do it.
Well, I think the thing that started the conversation was clearly the school where Kenza goes. They have decided this and was doing this before Laura's daughter started going there.
Apparently. I mean, I don't know if that was based on the majority.
So then they would say, well, if you really have this big of an issue with it, you chose the wrong school.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. And obviously, that's not going to be the determining factor of me removing my daughter from a school. I just think it's dumb. Can we go to line 4?
Let's go to line 4.
I don't like it. I'm a Muslim girl who was born and raised in Jersey, lived here my whole life. My parents let us trick or treat, but they did explain to us that we do not celebrate Halloween. We're just letting you guys do this because you're young. That's fine. But they never would have went to a school and said, oh, we're offended by this. What about the majority of the other people? Like, we're a small majority. Let's just say Muslims. But what about, I mean, you can't say, okay, every time a parent comes to the school, you're going to say, oh, okay, we got to change this because this parent complained.
Well, I don't know if that's. I don't know, Manal. I don't know if that's exactly what happened. But hypothetically speaking, let's say
but
that
that's what got them to change.
Well, no, you don't know that it's a minority of students. You don't know that.
What I'm saying is, like, something had to have happened for them to change that because it's always been Halloween. for years and years and years.
Maybe it was a majority of parents got together and said that this is what they wanted to do. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I mean, it seems unlikely that a majority of parents would say we're all offended. We're all out on
what
Halloween.
What are you basing your assessment on versus her? Like, what are we basing this on?
The fact that most Americans aren't offended by Halloween.
I'll tell you what you're basing it on. You're basing it on you, Rosenberg, and you, Manal, being accustomed to being the minority and accepting the terms being dictated to you by American society that you and your family opted into. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Correct.
Completely fine.
No,
I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying in the current state of affairs, you have people who are saying they want to change that.
Oh, and they did.
And they
have, and they did.
And I would say let's pick our battles because we look dumb. That sometimes we look dumb. Let's pick them and make it make sense. You don't need to say Happy Holidays to me. You can say Merry Christmas. I don't go, I don't celebrate Christmas. Say Happy Holiday to me, please. What? My family chose to come to America from Europe. You know what that meant? Christmas. Lots of it.
Say Happy Holidays to me.
That's fine. You saw some of my family didn't choose to come here. So okay, well, half of it did. So can that half of you be okay with it?
Well, hit me with both then. Happy Holidays and Happy Hanukkah.
And no Merry Christmas though.
Do some extra work then. Let's go to Yamali on line 5.
Rosemary, I'm actually very surprised at your stance on this, but my daughter goes to a school where it's Halloween/costume day because last year or the years before, kids have gone to school in grotesque outfits. Blood, gore, it just was horrible. So what they decided to do is take the educational route and say, hey, pick a costume or a character from a book that you've read, and then that would be more of a way that everybody can homogeneously enjoy the holiday without having to take into these...
Kids was coming to school with one arm cut off. Kids was coming to school with bullet holes in their head.
Some blood on the face.
That actually does make sense.
You have to consider that. So you have to consider that.
I think that's a completely reasonable thing to address. Like, that to me makes sense. Kids are looking grotesque at school. We need to assess what we're doing costume. I have no issue with that. And I know it sounds surprising. I'm not trying to say I've changed in my beliefs and don't believe in inclusiveness. Of course I do, about everything. I just want us as people who believe in inclusiveness to pick the spots where it's really important so we don't lose the broader argument because we're focused on things like the word Halloween versus
let me ask you
Character
this.
Day.
Where in your mind are you always trying to make, for lack of a better term, the opposition comfortable? Where in your mind, Rosenberg, are you always like, listen, we have to be concerned about losing the majority? Why is that always a concern for you to do this little moderate thing?
It's not moderate thing. It's about trying to get things through. In order to get things through, you have to compromise.
But you're talking about the federal government. We're just talking about people in the schools they go to.
No, it's the same,
local community.
But it's the same thing, even in your local community. If you come over and over again with things you want to change, at some point those conversations are going to get really challenging because you're pushing one side to make change after change after change for the things that you're interested in. And I believe meeting people halfway sometimes is the most likely way to get across the finish line the things that you care about.
But that's also moderate.
And that would make sense, Rosenberg, but here it is, you're not meeting anybody halfway. Like you just said, you actually just shut down on the idea of making the change, but I just gave you a perspective where some kids are coming grotesque, and you kind of you understood. So it takes more dialogue in order to meet halfway. So I guarantee you, if Laura's school had decided on costume day, there had to have been an educational discussion as to why we should make this adjustment.
Yeah, but that wouldn't make for good radio, and we don't know about that. You're probably right, but we don't know that part. So we're picking up with where we know the story. You're 100% right about that.
I'm just annoyed because I got to get another costume. That's it. And I'm just annoyed. That's it.
Well, no, but it made for a great discussion, right? Because people are getting pushed and challenged in our society to think and not just accept what was passed on to you. That is why we're having the problems we're having, is because we're being asked to do more work. People don't want to do it. They don't want to figure out solutions for mental health. They don't want to figure out solutions for homelessness. They don't want to figure it out.
So, Ebro, if I'm of the mindset that I want to get people to understand that homelessness shouldn't be criminalized, and when you see someone who looks like, in your eyes, quote, a scary vagrant, they're really someone who's gone through a lot of issues and they need our support.
That's right.
If I want to get them to understand that and focus on that, I may the next second not want to go, by the way, Halloween's dead, let's do character day. I want to focus on the things that are important and not beat you up in every other place, because I can barely get you to take one step more progressive. That's how I view things. You can view it as me being a soft moderate if you want. I don't know that you can win people over that way.
You're accustomed, and rightfully so, to acquiescing to a majority of the population that are dumbasses and are lazy and don't want to do work.
Facts, but they are the other half that we have to deal with. So how do we find a place where we could try to get things done?
And I'm telling you that I believe that there's a movement of people who ain't trying to deal with all that, and that's why we can't get things done.
I totally see that they're there. Yeah,
we see.
And by the way, we're about to elect a mayor in New York City that's all the way on the other side and is not playing the middle ground. Let's see how it goes.
Right. Because remember, we dodged in that same vein. That's why people dodged Bernie. Remember, that was the whole thing about Bernie. He's too far left. We need to figure out a way to help people come closer to the middle. How did that work out?
Terrible.
Because you know why? The people who are so anti-change, they are not budging.
It also didn't help that our middle guy was 150 years old and basically died in the office.
Well, then you came with a middle girl, and she lost too because she was black and a woman. And before that, you came with a middle lady who people didn't like because she had some emails. So there's always a thing. There's always a thing. We're always trying to find terms with these racists and these people who want to take it back to 1950. And then it's like, oh, but don't call them racist because then they get offended. Or don't tell them they're white supremacists because we don't want them to get mad. Okay, or don't tell them we're changing Halloween because they got to spend $25 on a new belt.
Yeah, but
now what?
You just blurred a lot of stuff there.
So what? Wow. Go to Amazon, do your little order. It's character day.